Zeus, the king of Olympus, took pleasure in spending time with the water nymphs who lived in the woods. Whenever he visited them, the nymphs warmly welcomed him and embraced him with passion. They played together in the green meadows, hills, and beneath the icy cold waterfalls. However, Zeus's wife, the goddess Hera, was consumed by jealousy and frequently kept a watchful eye on her husband while he was with the water nymphs. But every time she got close to catching him with them, an incredibly alluring water nymph named Echo would appear before her. Echo chatted cheerfully with Hera, which kept her from catching her husband. Hera enjoyed chatting with this lovely nymph, but she suspected that her husband set Echo to not let her catch him with other nymphs. And she soon thought that Echo had tricked her, and her heart burned with anger. "You deceived me with your sweet talk. Your deceptive tongue played a game on me." Hera shouted at Echo and punished her. "From now on, your voice will be quieter, and you will always have the last word, but never the first." And since that day, Echo could only repeat the last word of what others said. One day, Echo was wandering through the woods, feeling sad and dejected after losing her voice. As she roamed around, she spotted a young man with golden hair hunting from a distance. He was the most beautiful creature Echo had ever laid eyes on. With his hair shining like the sun, eyes as blue as the ocean, and pure white soft skin, he seemed like an epitome of perfection. His impeccable looks left everyone who saw him in awe. The young man was known for his legendary beauty, and his name was Narcissus. From the moment Echo laid eyes on him, she fell in love with him and followed him silently for days in the forest. Every time she saw him, Echo's heart would race, and she would burn with a passionate desire for him. However, Narcissus was not one to take love lightly. He had spurned countless confessions of love from young women, turning away many charming and beautiful ladies. He had grown tired of all the admiration and had become arrogant. But Echo's love for him only grew stronger with each passing day, and she kept a close eye on him. And one day, finally, Narcissus heard a rustling in the trees around him and realized that someone was watching him. With a sudden turn, he exclaimed, "Who's there?" From the trees, Echo repeated his last words, "There." Narcissus scanned the forest with curiosity. "Who are you?" "Come closer," he beckoned. Despite his efforts, Narcissus couldn't locate the nymph. "Stop hiding. Let us meet," he shouted. Echo repeated, "Let us meet," and approached Narcissus from behind the tree. As she embraced him, the young man panicked and pushed her away. "Leave me be. I'd rather die than let you love me," he yelled. Echo watched Narcissus flee through the woods. And she repeated the only thing she could. "Love me." Echo, humiliated and devastated, began living alone in a cave. The agony of unrequited love consumed her. She stopped eating and drinking, wasting away day by day until she faded like a frail snowflake and disappeared. All that remained was the sound of her voice echoing off the empty cave walls. The tragic end of Echo, filled with sorrow and despair, did not go unnoticed by the Olympian gods. Nemesis, known as the goddess of revenge who had a special interest and affection for Echo, was furious about her death and decided to punish Narcissus, who was responsible for it. The arrogant youth would feel the same pain as those who suffered because of his love. Narcissus was hunting in the woods and he stumbled upon a shimmering pond hidden away from the rest of the world. Its surface was so still and smooth that it seemed untouched by any living creature, with no leaves or animals to disturb it. The sun danced on the surface of the water, reflecting the trees above in perfect detail. As Narcissus bent down to drink from the pool, he caught a glimpse of someone staring back at him. He was captivated by the image he saw, a face with eyes like stars, framed by golden hair and smooth cheeks like ivory. He leaned in to kiss the lips of this beautiful vision, but found only the cool spring water. Narcissus was overcome with grief. He realized that the object of his desire was not a real person, but his own reflection in the water. He wept bitterly, and the tears he shed caused ripples in the water, shattering his reflection. Despite his growing weakness, Narcissus remained fixated on the pool, gazing at his reflection for hours on end. His obsession with himself consumed him until one day he passed away. The water and wood nymphs searched for his body, but all they found was a single white and yellow flower blooming beside the pool, which was named Narcissus from that time on. And that's the story of Narcissus and Echo. The story teaches us many lessons about love, hubris, and the nature of humanity. When we look at it, we can find many similarities and aspects of ourselves. Although we may not all be like Echo, there is a little bit of Narcissus in all of us. As it pointed out in a retelling of the story, after Narcissus died, the shimmering pond was filled with sorrow. The forest nymphs tried to console it by saying, "Why are you crying? You had plenty of opportunities to admire Narcissus's beauty. We would have chased after him, but he never paid us any attention." The river was surprised to hear this and asked, "Was Narcissus really such a beautiful young man? I never noticed." "I am saddened," the river replied, "because when he leaned towards me, I could see my own shining reflection in his eyes." There it is. A wonderful story. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up for more content like this. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.